Hey guys, just thought about it. What I might do is I might call this sort of season 2, I guess, just so it's easier to keep track of the episodes. As I'm still recording straight on from the last one, as I want to try and get a bunch of recordings done and start getting some more content out for From the Depths. So what we're going to do is we're going to call this episode 2, I guess. And, yeah. About to get into another battle. And see how we do. It should only be a couple of ships, but what I'm thinking is I'm going to use that fighter to blockade them and basically pull the same thing we pulled earlier, which is get them all grouped up, trying to blockade the fighter and deal with it, and then use the destroyer to take them on. Actually, again, we could just start this fight from here. Why not? It's probably a smart move because they've got a Shrike. So, I mean, this could go terribly. Also, haven't saved, but we should be right. Yeah, okay, so turn off the resource display. Where are they? All the way over here. Alright, perfect. That works out for us, because they've got a Shrike. So if we start the fight from all the way over here, we've got a long time before it reaches us. But we should already be able to shoot at it. I don't know why it decided to fire while I should have had control of the guns. I don't know how that happened. Say la vie, I guess. We put some damage on it. Come on. What's with this inaccuracy? There we go. Good hit. Alright. Now we're gonna have a hell of a time finishing it off, because it's probably gonna start circling like that. So, best move, start reversing. I don't know how high up those guns are actually gonna be able to fire. So if it sails high enough up, I may have to sort of do like a jump cut to where I figure out what to do about that. It's not quite sure. I mean, if it goes high enough up, it may just kind of decide it's not coming back down. No, it looks like it's coming back down. Alright, good stuff. Chill out their ship. Swap to that. Alright. Jeez, it's a bunch of chop. That wasn't too bad of a shot. Not quite sure what's happening with the whole controlling of the guns. One of its cannons should still be under its control, actually, I guess. So probably just be that one firing. I need this thing to stop spinning out so much. It's the only problem with fighting the aerial vehicles that kind of end up having a bad day. But what we can do is head on over this way, because it's just about to hit the water. When that happens, perfect. This is when we need to be firing. Just fire everything. Because this is when we can definitely get some hits in. Finally got it stationary. And then we gotta quickly zoom over and deal with that sledge. That should be child's play compared to this. Aerial vehicles are definitely the weakness in this vehicle at the moment, as it doesn't have any anti-air guns. It is something I've been meaning to have a look at setting up as some proper good flak cannons again. I do have some, I guess, designs lying around for that, but yeah, just haven't really gotten around to putting any onto this one yet. I don't want to put too many guns onto it and end up in a position where there are guns detonating on top of the hull and actually punching holes into the hull, because at the moment it's a very quick design at 27 meters per second for what it's like, the amount of firepower it's carrying, but it's actually not that heavily armored. yet is very survivable with what armor it does have. Yeah. Here we go. Pretty solid hit. Wait, hang on. Put that on. Alright. Jesus is a long way away. Let's see the shots. What's going on here? Alright, it's fine. Yeah, we're just a little bit away from the enemy. I believe that's it just over there. I think that's it. Yeah, that's kind of what's left of it. Okay, those shots came in fine. And they should finish it. Wow, that's sturdy. Let's, oh, I was about to say, let's see how she rams, because I haven't rammed anything for a while with it. But the nose is actually pretty heavily armored. It layers in pretty thick at the front here. And, like, the nose doesn't actually open up until here. And even there, it's sort of, it's got a few layers to it. Then it's got extra reinforcement here, which is where, if it ever does ram anything and sort of start crumpling up the nose, this is pretty much where it should hopefully stop, as it's got extra armoring again. But even up at the front here, I haven't actually painted that in there, it's heavily armored, so should be right. Okay, so back onto the map, we've got another fight to get into. As with the paddle gun prototype. It's carrying 12,500 materials. Bet you that's from our other ship. Alright, let's do it. Let's see how it handles this. Now, it was crippled last time we fought it. I really should drag me back here. But looks like it's no longer crippled, so we're gonna have to re-cripple it. It shouldn't be too difficult. Yeah, this was more deadly, in my opinion, when it was running on the advanced cannons. It used to just run on a bunch of, from what I remember, it just had a bunch of Sabo round advanced cannons built into it. And yeah, it was much more deadly back then, in my opinion. It used to be hard to fight. I'm not sure why these guns are missing a lot here, but they normally don't. There we go. Let's try something more like that. Aim inside the ship. Yeah, that's better. That's more like it. And now they're just spreading out all over the place again. I don't know, it sort of seems a bit weird the way that works. Also, it looks like a lot of these ships from the Deepwater Guard are running on heat-seeking missiles and so forth, which is why we're utilizing the heat decoys at the back at the moment. But we can also pull some really funky stuff like that, where we sort of go forwards just as their cannons are about to hit. Oh, sorry, just as they fire their cannons. And the amount of acceleration this ship's got, it will just stop and immediately change and start going forwards again. Now it'll throw a shot of ours off, but it'll definitely throw off theirs. And And that should be their cannons basically down. Yep. Those cannons are broken. So that's a dead paddle gun. Much quicker than when we were trying to do this with the fighter. That was pretty tough, and at this point we've been aiming specifically for the gun. So, I mean, if we were to actually utilize what should be our superior speed and maneuverability, we should be able to circle around on it to some degree and actually try and hit the hull where it's a bit weaker. And yeah. Now I do still need to work on the heat decoys. It looks like what I need to do is actually raise the heat decoys themselves up out of the water. I mean, the point was meant to be to pull the missiles down into the water. Yeah, see. Just absolutely devastated once we circle around and start hitting the rest of the ship as well. But honestly, while the... oh, there we go. Good stuff. While the heat decoys are safer in the water, I mean, it doesn't really seem to be doing what it should, so I don't know. Not sure yet. What I do know is it is absolutely doing what it was supposed to be doing, which is a nice change. It was just getting very irritating before, the fact that each of my designs, I'd sort of test them a bunch and hopefully, you know, I'd have them right and ready to go, and then get into the campaign and they wouldn't work out. I sort of felt like I was kind of stuffing you guys around with constantly not having the ships actually ready and performing the way they were meant to be. Feels nice to have it actually doing what it's meant to be, though. Well, there we go. Good stuff. Alright, so we're gaining some levels as well. Whoops, that's AI control. So that means with the 2 levels, we can put another 2 points into that. Now, we can also essentially put points into Sea Captain to speed ourselves up, things like that. But I'm thinking what would be better is to maybe put some points into Gunsmith next, as it'll drop our gun and accuracy factor even further. I don't know if it actually just takes the better of the 2, but I'm hoping that they would work together. In which case, yeah, we could bring our inaccuracy way down, but it'd also give us shell velocity, which could be useful on this ship, just increasing its range a bunch. But yeah, I don't know. See how we do. Main thing here is to try and move out this way and see if we can take more territory. So the aerobic cauldron is one of the deeper parts of the planet. Storms brew up here, creating treacherous sailing in comparison to the islets to the east that pave the way to from aerobic to Cold Lock. So that should be a fun place to go have some battles. I mean, you can get out into the middle of a massive storm and just have a huge fight. See, this destroyer it's only got 29 meters per second, and yet it seems to be damn near keeping up with these fighters in terms of how quick it can get around. So why am I unable to... Ah, friendly areas. These are owned by the Onyx Watch. Okay, alright, cool. Okay. So it's good to know that they're over there. It's a pity they weren't, you know, taking on the Deepwater Guard like you'd expect them to over there. Lazy buggers. But it's fine. Alright. So the fighters... Friendly areas, these are owned by the White Flayers. Oh no. Okay, we gotta stay well away from that. Alright. They don't mess about. I don't want to pick a fight with them just yet. Not while we're still in a war with the Deepwater Guard. So now the only thing I gotta worry about is if my destroyer can't get back this way in time, if they bring in another huge fleet. So what I should be doing... Okay, you... Keep no material. Give it back to the destroyer. You head over this way. And I'm going to fill this one up with material from the destroyer. As soon as it's done that, it's going to circle around and drag that material straight down here, so it can put another chunk onto the potential destroyer down there. What we'll do is we'll kind of just start using these to transport resources back, I guess. Like one of these will kind of keep bouncing back and forth. See, I did want to circle around that way. Should be able to do so. And then we can hit the deep water guard over here, I believe. Yeah. Home of the fleets of the pirate lords, small fortresses and gantries dot the islets, each owned by a well-off captain or other who has driven its previous owners away with fire and sword. The rather stained jewel of the sandy banks is the Davy Jones Locker, a massive shipwreck fortress where the Deepwater Lords hold council. Okay, so I'm going to assume we gotta fight. Whoa! I did not pay attention. This is probably about to get into a fight with whatever that thing is. Oh, it's a barracuda. Oh. Well. In that case, that's the standard nimble fighter fuel. Those are the lure ones. I think I'll pull the lure ones in, but the destroyer goes in first. Make sure we're in that. Change these guys over to keep a little bit of material just in case so they can repair themselves and each other and stuff. Alright. Yep, so begin battle, I guess. Alright. So yeah, the missiles still need better tracking setup. Oh, there we go. Alright, fight done. It costs a lot more than it should have. That was partially my mistake due to the fact that I was not prepared to pull this thing out of the fight. That was what I was saying before, yeah, we do need some anti-air setup, but just can't do it yet. We just went from having so many resources we were about to send a full load back over here to essentially broke. That's terrible. Alright. All materials, then this. Please. That one. There we go. Okay. This one can head over here. Alright. So that way we can bring over what's needed to get that destroyer running again. Alright, so I won't do that again. I'll just pull it out of the fight if we do come up against another one of those. I mean, it can take the airship out, no problems. The main ship, easy as pie. Horde of little bombers, not so much. A pain in the butt. Okay, so that should be it for this episode. I'm assuming I probably would have sped it up through a bunch of that fight at the end there with the actual little bombers and stuff, just because that took a while. But yeah, so that's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Have a good one, guys.